Political Director John Dickerson is here in Washington with me. John, good morning.
Hello, Charlie.
It's good to be in Washington.
Yeah, you've reversed roles here. You're here and Nora's in New York.
Your impressions of this press conference?
Well, you know, the president struck me when he said he's mindful of second-term presidents who overreach. So there was a part of it that was restrained yesterday, but the part that wasn't was when he took a whack at Senators McCain and Graham. That stood out in part in contrast to the other sort of reserved approach he took to taxes, even saying that he was being self-reflective about dealing with Congress. On the one hand, he's being self-reflective about how to deal with Congress. On the other hand, he was so strong with McCain and Graham. The way they feel in the White House is essentially McCain and Graham are taking a political shot at the president by picking on Susan Rice. If they want to pick on anyone, they should pick on him or the intelligence chiefs who gave her the intelligence that she was repeating.
There's also some political considerations coming from the Republican side. Mitt Romney yesterday had an analysis of the president's victory.
This is something I was picking up in the interviews with Romney folks right after the election. And basically their argument is the president did well with minorities, African Americans, Hispanic voters, and young voters because he systematically basically bought them off. With young voters, he offered them, talked a lot about college loans, and with Hispanic voters, having younger Hispanic voters, the children of illegal immigrants, give them citizenship. And then with African American voters, one strategist said that it was this lowering of welfare requirements. That argument was essentially the one that Mitt Romney made with donors yesterday in a phone call, and arguing basically this is how the president did it.
And there's also Paul Ryan talking about the urban vote. Norah?
That's right. And John, I mean, it was almost as if Romney told supporters that Obama won because he gave a chicken in every pot to everybody.
Exactly. And he's now back to, this was essentially the sentiment at the heart of that secretly recorded video that came out during the campaign, where he talked about the 47%, the people who were so dependent on government, they would vote for the president because he was going to hand things out. Romney spent several weeks then trying to walk back from that statement. Now he seems to be embracing it again. The idea basically that these voters are so easily manipulated that the president merely needed to dangle a thing or two in front of them and they would rush to him at the polls. The reason you would embrace this argument if you're in the Romney camp is that the alternative argument, which is that they totally misread the electorate, is a much more painful one to embrace.
Mm-hmm. There's one question that comes out of all this, too. It is this notion that Nancy Cordes raised. Is the president clearly desirous of reaching out with good intentions to Republicans? Because the Susan Rice deal just suggests that he's ready to fight.
Well, on that one he is, because he's irritated, sort of at a personal level, as it was explained to me. Now, on the taxes, though, he was both kind of firm but also trying to be ambiguous. I mean, clearly the president thinks you have to raise revenues somehow. You can do it one of three ways. You can raise taxes on those making over $250,000. You can reduce loopholes, keep the tax rate the same but reduce loopholes, or some combination thereof. He basically thinks there's no way to do it without some kind of tax increase, but he's trying not to look like a bully about it.
All right. John Dickerson, thank you very much.